say, welcome to Bruce's Commentary. It's presented in short 15-minute segments, and this one is entitled Examining an Integral Part of American History and What's Going On Today, and what the complete history of the United States is really circling around today that has caused so much strife and hate. The key word is hate. So we'll be paying attention to slave trades and true factual ship records. And we're going to use an overlay here so you can see a visual on this. You can get a visual. People are so visually oriented today versus actually reading a book from start to finish. Most people just can't do that anymore. Everything's on an iPad or a phone or some kind of short entertainment. So we'll try to get to the point here. I've got 15 minutes. I think you'll get a complete understanding of all of necessary understanding of what you should have been taught in school, any kind of college, any kind of grade school, any kind of Sunday school. You should have been taught this. Why did we use ship records? Because money makes the world go round, and because of that, ship records had to be very accurate. Uh, Captains of ships counted every single soul that they took from Africa, dealing with slave trades. That's how they got here. They didn't take an airplane, or they didn't walk. They were stolen from Africa, and they were brought to all parts of the world, but mostly South America, mostly the Caribbean and the United States. And we're going to detail that. Listen very carefully. Check out everything I say. Trust nothing these days. Check it out. Um, if a ship captain lied about anything, he wasn't a ship captain anymore. That just doesn't work. Ship records are extremely accurate measurements of truth in those days. So let's take a look at it here. All right, we're looking at a map. There are dozens and dozens of maps out there. You can get this from your library. Some of this is on internet. Most everything on the internet we don't look at because it's just it's like what you're listening to here. Check it out. You've got to check out everybody, including and especially me. This is very important. I used to work in colleges and schools and do all kinds of training like that. I don't work there anymore. It's been taken over by the left wing fanatical. Yes, left wing fanatical. Uh, and that also means Antifa, fascist, communist, which is crazy because the communists and the fascists are calling each other the same thing and they're blaming the whole world on Antifa when in fact they are. But that's another segment. Take a look. I'll give you the numbers. We're talking a total of 12,032,000 souls stolen. Black Africans, um, dark skinned individuals. 3% came to the United States. That's about 360,000. And you can take a look of how they came in. Three ports, major ports of entry. Major. Now, where are we talking about here? Well, it's pointing at Charleston. What are we pointing up here? New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, ports of call, Norfolk, Virginia, so forth. Where are we up here? We're up in northern Maine and Scotia areas. And most of the uh, dark skinned that were stolen were pushed by uh, dark skins, different dark skins, Asians, into this area through the Muslims, the Nation of Islam, and they also took some back with them, or they killed them off. Nonetheless, most of them went to the coast to escape. And what came along? You had the Portuguese, you had the Dutch, the Netherlands, Britain, France, and Spain. They came down there, made some trades. They would pick up these people, sell them, the great majority, to South America, uh, through into the Caribbean islands, which are numerous. As you can see, the records very, very accurate. Many people along the way, when the ship sank, They sank with the slaves, and they weren't saved because they were chained to the decks. And when they went down in storms and bad situations, most of the slaves were just drowned to death. It was horrible what was going on in those days. But the truth be told, how did these people get taken from the push? Who pushed them? What nation? What religion did this? Check into it. And then when they were sold, you got goods and services. In other words, slaves, dark people, um, they were not indentured like most of the people from Scotland, Ireland, who were forced out of their homes by evil people from Europe. By the way, very evil people, and they were lost their homes, their families, and everything, and they came to the United States in the millions also from this way, and they were indentured. They were even worse than slaves because if they couldn't pay anything off, the owners of them were very glad they couldn't because um, the situation they were in meant that the owners of them can just take over their property, their chattels, and everything else. Okay, but slavery is what we're talking about here. These people were property. They were not uh, considered human beings, many of them. So what went on during this time is horrendous and needs to be the truth needs to be spoken. If you go today to South America, any of these islands, the people that live there are not 100% African Americans. They've been mixed, interbred, and died, killed, slaughtered, and worked to death. That's what happened to the great majority. Now we're talking 12,032,000, with less than 3% coming to the United States. So, where are all the solidly 100% black people? Two places: Africa today, United States today. Uh, the fussing and the fighting in Africa continues, tribe to tribe, nation to nation, never ends. The fussing and fighting in the United States continues. The North and South situation, the Civil War, is not over. It's still, everybody's still having some kind of a situation where they just can't get over something that happened 10 to 14 generations ago. And it's going to continue on, mostly because of the lies and cheating and stealing of your children that the colleges across the world, especially in the United States, have told people. You don't see this in college campuses. Nowhere. Take a look. It's right in front of you. So, we go to all these countries. You fly there. Look for them. There are a lot of dark skinned people, and there are a lot of that have African blood in them. That is true. But are they 100%? You won't find them. What does it tell you about the people that accepted these slaves in the majority of the world that took them? They could care less. So the country that did care the most, United States, they ended up here. This 120 some odd thousand people up here, they ended up more like house servants, not plantation slaves digging and singing songs in the cotton fields. Goodness sakes, where does this nonsense come from? Same thing here. What happened to 210,000? Well, there was disease, famine, but that's not a good thing for the owners, that the Americans, the white Americans that owned them. And by the way, one of the largest plantation owners in the United States, let's be honest, folks, one of the biggest plantation owners in the United States was a 100% black man. Oh, is that the first time you ever heard that? Well, the libraries are full of this truth if you go take a look at it. And how many listening to me today have ever even been to a library? By the way, you still have to have a card to get in. All right, having said that, it's not a good thing to let black people die. They're property. No one goes and buys a car and tears it up. They take care of the car. Now, are they wrong owning slaves? Absolutely. But because of the care and concern that took place with taking care of the property in those days, they were considered property. They live, and you who are living today, who are African American, are alive today because of that care. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. It's all here. You can continue on life hating everything or loving and forgiving. You make the choice. But the people that went to Cuba, look at this. We're talking 779,000. How many are pure black today? How many of that went to the Jamaican area? 1 million. How many are pure black? How many that went to this entire area of the Caribbean Spanish area? 390,000 are, as I say over and over again. And then look down here. Go there. Well, my ancestors, and I'm black, and even people running for vice president here are like 1/15th, 1/20th, 100th, whatever. The truth is right here. You do not see this in colleges. You do not see this in churches. You don't see it in Sunday schools. You don't see it in private colleges. You don't see it in anything. There it is. So we're talking 3%. 3%. This is examining a part of American history. The true factual ship records is there for the looking. Examine them. Take a hard look at them. And start learning the truth and passing it on to the people around you, because the whole world is caught up in a pack of lies, one lie packed onto another. And what we say in our segments here is this: in my commentary, there is an absolute goodness in this world, a pureness, and there's an absolute evil in this world, an impureness, an adversary. And you have to choose. You can't sit there and blame one human after another. It's principalities that are bringing up these lies, and the people and their minions that fall for it are spending every dime and every minute they have making up lies. And internet is full of it. So I dare you to take a look at what I've said, and I dare you to tell other people about it. That's my commentary on examining just a part of American history, and this is now labeled number one. Till next time.